Let's say you're out on a beautiful winter's day like this, but it's cold and your hands are starting to get cold. Well, what can you do? Well, of course, you might grab some hand warmers. These come made by all different brands. These particular ones are Hot Hands. And inside this is a little package of wonderful heat. But how do these work? It's an incredibly cool process that happens inside these little bags that gives you that heat. What is inside here is iron powder. There's a bit of salt, a little bit of water. There's some activated charcoal and vermiculite. Now, when you open that plastic bag and expose it to air, there's tiny little perforations in this. You can't even see them. They're not going to let anything out, but they will let air in. They'll let oxygen in. And when oxygen reacts with the iron, it oxidizes that iron. What it's doing, it's rusting. The iron is rusting, and that process of oxidation is what gives off the heat. The other ingredients in there, like the salt, the water, are there to help the oxidation process, speed up so you get that heat faster. The vermiculite that's in there acts as something to hold that heat so it's not dissipated completely very quickly, and thus you've got a nice warm little package of heat. These come in all sorts of different sizes. A lot of the smaller ones that you fit in your gloves might last for about 8 to 10 hours. These ones are larger. These last for 18 hours. And in my experience, that is actually accurate. There's many times where I've taken one of these out in the evening when I've been camping, to keep my hands warm, kept it in my sleeping bag to keep me warm overnight, and woke up in the morning and they're still warm for a few more hours. So the hour times on there seem to be quite accurate, especially the bigger ones. There's more in here, it's going to hold its heat for longer. But what if I was only out here for a couple hours, only was going to use this for a couple hours, and now it's just going to sit there losing its heat for the next 16 hours? Is there a way that you can actually stop that process so that you can use them again? It turns out there is. By understanding how they work, the fact that it's the oxygen getting to the iron that is making that process create heat, what if you got rid of that oxygen by putting this inside a Ziploc bag, sealing that up, pushing all the air out? I've seen many videos on the internet recently doing just that and claiming that it does work. I figured what I would do is test that. I've got these, I've just opened it. It's been open for about half an hour. It's nice and warm. I'm gonna put this inside a Ziploc bag, push out all the air, seal it up, let it sit for a couple of days so that I know that it would have lost its heat otherwise. And then I'll take it out and test it, see if it can get the heat back going and keep my hands warm. I'm also going to take one and seal it inside of a vacuum sealed plastic bag and see if that works better. It should, in my mind, just because it's removing all the air out of the bag, but we'll see after a couple of days whether that actually works. Okay, I am back. I had this one sealed inside a Ziploc bag, and after shaking it up, waiting a little while, it is warm once again. So it does work, putting it inside a Ziploc bag. But what about the other one? The one that I sealed inside a vacuum sealed plastic bag? Well, that one also works just fine. After shaking it up, waiting a little while, it is now producing heat once again. So it is true. If you seal your hand warmers in plastic and get rid of all the air, you can extend their life and use them again later.